You're watching Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney, Southwest Florida's retirement television. He's an author, a radio host, a fiduciary, and Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor. Here is Senior Investment Advisor Eric Kearney.
Hello and welcome to Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney. I'm Wendy Falk and today I'm here with Eric Kearney. How are you, Eric?
I'm great, Wendy. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's great to be here with you.
Great to be here with you as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about people are really struggling out there right now with the times that we're in.
Right.
And I know, Eric, you have seen this before and have been through this before with the tech bubble, 2008, and all of those numerous pullbacks.
Right.
How are you helping your clients at this time?
So, Wendy, we've been through this multiple times. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that as human beings, we quickly forget how bad events were. Mm-hmm. And so I still remember the crash of the tech bubble, and that left a lot of people devastated. I mean, they had stocks that were worth $250 that were now worth 75 cents. Mm-hmm. And so you know, there was a massive amount of loss in that one. And then all of a sudden you had the horrible event like 9/11. Mm-hmm. What happens is that people's emotions start to take over, and they start to, all these negative thoughts start to swirl in our head, mm-hmm. and we actually lose financial direction.
Yes.
And the frustrating thing to me is that I'm actually able to step back and help them, mm-hmm. and help them get through that. Mm-hmm. And what we have to do is we have to start forecasting a plan. We have to start forecasting, okay, things are bad right now, but what will recover from this, mm-hmm. okay? What's the time frame? How do we get out of this? And I always talk about driving into a ditch. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever driven into a ditch with a car, it's not a fun experience.
No.
But a lot of times when we drive into that ditch and we're down in there, the first thing we do is we put the car in reverse and we step on the gas and we hope that that gets us out. Mm-hmm. But it's the same with your investments. Sometimes the investments that you're holding, when they go down, they're not going to be the same investments that get you back out. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times when that car is in the ditch, it's not going to be the same vehicle that gets you back out. Mm-hmm. It's actually going to be a completely different vehicle that gets you out of the hole. Mm-hmm. So when that comes to your investments, when you're down, you have to take a look at your investments and say, okay, are these the correct investments that I'm holding to get me back out of the hole? Mm-hmm. A good example is after 9/11, you had large cap companies that are worth $10 billion plus. That between 2001 and 2011, that was known as the lost decade for large cap stocks because they were absolutely flat. Guess where the majority of Americans had their money in? Large caps. I remember us being, after 9/11, we were in gold, we were in real estate, we were in energy, completely different alternate asset classes to large caps. Mm-hmm. And my clients actually thrived through those times. Mm-hmm. I remember in 2004, a gentleman filling up a Suburban with $5 a gallon gas, but he's like, hey, I've got that energy fund, so I'm happy, because they were making a killing in energy.
Yes.
The times have changed right now, but the thing is that your portfolio has to evolve with the times. So we've created the portfolio recovery strategy way back in 2001, and we've kept updating it, and we updated it 3 months ago. What you're going to see here is in another 6 months, these big box firms are going to come out, oh, let's do something about your portfolio. We already did that 3 months ago with the coronavirus.
Yes, you did.
And so we've been through these tumultuous events before. This is why our clients stick with us, because they understand that there's a process. They understand all the transparency that's sitting in their actual portfolio. And people want to know, okay, Eric, what is my process now? Like, how do I get through this tough time? And so the new potential clients that we have calling to our office, they're like, I've been referred to you, or I've heard you on TV or radio. They're coming in and they're like, we want a process. And the thing is that, you know, you can almost hear the desperation in their voice. I was getting close to retirement. I thought my advisor had me on track. But now all of a sudden, you know, for the past 10 and 11 years, we've had this strong bull market run.
Yes.
It was pretty easy for people to make money.
Oh, sure it was.
So you kind of look at your advisor and you're like, well, I guess they're doing a good job. But now people are truly second guessing their own advisor because they really don't have any kind of plan, and they don't have the process that we'd have either.
And that is something that you do at Retirement Wealth Advisors so well, is that process that you put everyone through.
Right.
Well, let's take a couple of minutes and talk about the Portfolio Recovery Strategy booklet that you have written. It's beautiful and so well done. And that's what you do for your clients. And you're right, your clients were ready for this because you have been helping them and you had this all worked out.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the booklet and tell me, we'll open here. As you can see, it's all pictures of Southwest Florida. It's beautifully done. Tell me a little bit about what people can expect when they get this booklet.
This was kind of written so like it starts out kind of like, where you are right now. And then the further that you get into it, it actually goes through a strategy. Do you have this? Are you going through this process? Do you have this kind of plan? Do you have transparency? Do you understand your true asset allocation? Do you really understand what you own and why you own it? And there's a lot of people that are coming in and questioning, I really don't understand my portfolio. We're trying to get them reacquainted with that portfolio, and we're trying to show them, look, you can actually perform a portfolio recovery strategy, but we've got to start at the bottom. Like, what are your goals, your needs, your time horizon? And that's all in the booklet, and they can actually go on my website at www.erickearneyadvisor.com and download that for free. And it's been a tremendous book. We've had multiple downloads every single day, and over the weekends, of course, it triples. So a lot of people are downloading it, they're looking at that, and then they're giving us a call and they're like, this is exactly what we need. And the thing is that we've been talking about this here and now, but we've been also talking about this on radio and TV for the past 3 months. So this is not a new subject for us. We've been through these tumultuous waters before, and we've gotten through them. We know how to do this. I've said this before, that there's a lot of investment advisors, financial advisors out there who are licensed salespeople. They understand that they can put you in products, but they really don't know how to manage money. This is where people are really seeking out a true money manager. They're like, I want somebody who actually understands how to manage money. And so this is where, like I said, this is where the creme de la creme really comes out, and the good advisors stand out. I've always said that there's a lot of darn good investment advisors out there, but there's also a lot of bad ones, and you really have to shop around and see who's going to be a really good fit for you.
Eric, you said that our viewers can go to your website and download this. It's complimentary, and it's beautiful. The value's amazing.
Thank you.
You're giving this away complimentary.
Yes.
Wow. So visit Eric's website and tell me again what your website is.
www.erickearneyadvisor.com.
And you can get your own complimentary copy of the Portfolio Recovery Strategy.
Yes.
It's a nice gift.
Yes.
Well, Eric, I know that as we discussed, this is not new to you, and your clients have been prepared for that.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons people come to you. They know that you're proactive. You're not reactive. I think probably a lot of people, maybe they had an inkling that something like this was going to happen. People have been talking about a recession, and we have the election coming up and all of that. So we kept hearing that buzz around, like, oh, all of this is going to happen. I don't think any of us expected what has occurred. And it's been crippling in a lot of ways with our health as well as our wealth.
Yes.
So your clients were ready, and as I said before, that's what you all do so well. You get people ready for things, and your portfolio keeps them prepared, and they know what they've got going on.
Right. The thing is that we put them through the process. We're putting them through an income plan, a strategic plan, wealth management process, then the concierge service. We're putting them through that process, and we're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. And there's a lot of people that said, I've never had this told to me before. I didn't realize that this was available to me. And so there's a lot of products and tools and planning out there that people are being missed out on. And it's a huge lost opportunity. But I think that this pullback in the market right now could be one of the biggest resets for the decade, for the next decade. And so we're encouraging people, look, take the time to put that financial plan together. There's so many people now, and this is kind of apropos for what's going on, but there's a lot of people right now that are worried about their health. And if you're really worried about your health, you're going to go to the doctor, and you're going to want to make sure that they do a very thorough analysis about your health. And again, you sometimes wonder, well, geez, maybe I should get a second opinion. It's no different with your wealth. People are now questioning, I really need to have a better person in charge of my money. It's just like you want to find the very best doctor, you want to find the very best money manager. And so you want to find somebody out there who you really feel is listening to you, who is transparent, who really is looking out for your best interest.
Eric, let's take a short break, but before we do, we're going to open up the phone lines. The number's 800-779-1942. Eric, you have a complimentary gift that you would like to give to the first 10 callers that we get. Would you like to tell our viewers what that is?
Yeah, sure. If you've never had a second opinion or you're interested in your very own portfolio recovery strategy, give us a call today. We're going to run all the reports for you. This is over $1,000 value. We'll be giving it away complimentary, no obligation. So what this consists of is simply running all the reports, the fee reports, the Morningstar reports, a tax analysis, maybe even a volatility analysis. Let's get you reacquainted with your portfolio, and again, without any obligation. If you're interested in your very own income plan, we'll show you proven strategies and techniques to turbocharge your retirement income. So in short, we're going to take all the guesswork out of financial planning. Give us a call today. We'll take the next 10 callers.
Yes, and the number's 1-800-779-1942. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams?
Questions about your retirement are normal. So come into our office, sit down with us, and let us help you find those answers.
Eric and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you.
We specialize in helping people just like you prepare for the retirement that they've always dreamed of.
They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, they'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy.
What I enjoy most about retirement planning is sitting down with you and having real conversations about your retirement dreams and goals.
Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement.
Retirement doesn't have to be scary. Let us help you retire confidently.
Because every dream needs a plan. Call Eric today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
Thanks for joining us again on Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney. Eric, it's good to be back from our short break.
Excellent.
Let's start off this part of the show with a question from Amy in Bonita Springs. She says, what's going to happen to retirement accounts in this falling market? I'm scared that my retirement savings will dwindle down to nothing. What should I do? What can you say to Amy about that?
So Amy, I mean, I hear what you're saying because we hear that from a lot of people right now. And I think what's happening is that there's a lot of people that don't feel like they're being heard from their advisor. And we hear a lot of people, I have no communication, very few phone calls, if any. I mean, some people are getting nothing. Some people are being told, hey, the market's coming back. I don't think so. You know, like with all of these jobless claims numbers coming out and all of these, you see how fragile all these companies are right now. You know, when you and I have talked about all these companies that are filing for bankruptcy or on the verge of bankruptcy, it's no different with our retirement accounts. Now we're realizing how fragile those are. The companies that are really making it through have a very strong balance sheet. They have low debt. They have a long-term plan. Well, let's think about the retiree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how, you know, what does that look like? But what is your real plan? And so, Amy, I would really ask you and encourage you to come in and get a financial plan, because really, purpose determines placement. We have to understand what your goals are. And there's a lot of people, when they go through the planning process, they come to realize, you know what, Eric, I'm not in as bad of a position as I thought I was. But they've never been offered the whole process before of that full-blown financial plan. And again, we're getting deep into those questions and we're asking them all about their lifestyle. It's not about retirement. It's really more about lifestyle with your family, with traveling, with accomplishing things in your life that are important to you. These are all things that we're taking into account. What about your money is important to you and what they can allow you to do? And people like that. It's not about, we're going to buy some stocks, or we're going to buy some funds. No, it's like people want to know their lifestyle, and they're like, Eric, I want my lifestyle. So really, that's what we're trying to do for them. So Amy, I would strongly encourage her to come in. We'll do a full-blown financial plan, do an income plan, and then take a look at the investments.
Hope that helps, Amy. Please give Eric a call, as he suggested. That I think you would feel so much better if you got the opportunity to sit down with him.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the 4 sides of wealth management and planning that you provide.
Right.
The first one's the strategic financial plan. The second is the lifestyle income plan. The third is the wealth management and investment part of it. And number 4 is the concierge service that you provide. So tell us why that's so important now, that process that you've, and how you put this through that, and all these 4 sides. Let's start with what the strategic plan covers.
So it's exactly that, Wendy. It's a strategic plan. It's not some cookie cutter plan that we just type in a bunch of stuff and pull out. My financial planning team is sitting down with that client, and they are going down deep with that client. They're ripping their emotions and their feelings down to the studs and saying, how do you feel about money? What value do you put on money? What are you uncomfortable with money? If there were 2 things that you could change, what would they be? There's a lot of great questions that we're asking.
Yes.
We want to understand people's experiences with money in the past. I want to know how they feel about money. We all have different feelings about money.
Yes.
Some say we all love money, but then when we actually comes down to it, we're afraid of it, right? We don't know anything about it. We know too much about it. We think we know too much about it. So there's a lot of times we have to understand your feelings. And then all of a sudden we're understanding what is important to you, what are your goals and objectives. And I always ask people, what are your top 3 concerns? And the first one typically is always, I don't want to run out of money. The number 2 one is, I don't want to pay too much in taxes or medical. They're fighting for 2, right? And so, but number 1 is they just want to make sure that they're able to live. And so again, we're really taking a look and understanding, okay, how do we build a strategic plan for them? And in all of our advertising and marketing, it says strategic planning, and that's what we do.
Right.
And so we're writing that. And so that's really what we're looking to do is figure out what their life looks like and the time frames, what's important to them, and covering all those. And that should be everyone's benchmark.
Right.
And if I said to you, Wendy, am I covering everything that you want to do? You want a new car every 3 years, you want to go to Costa Rica, you want to go to Hawaii, you want to go to Italy, you want to take care of your grandkids. Is that everything that you want in your life? And you say yes. If we cover that, that's your benchmark. Not the S&P 500, not peer performance, not the latest fad, your lifestyle. That's strategic planning.
Yes.
And the majority of the people that come into my office don't have that.
And that's what you do so well. I've seen it, and it is all about lifestyle. We save, and that's what our money's meant for, is for our life and how we want to live it.
That's right.
And so that strategic plan is key to the income plan.
Right.
Well, let's talk about the wealth management side and the investment part of it.
Before that actually comes the lifestyle income plan.
Okay.
So what we're doing is that we're going through the first part, and then all of a sudden we have to figure out how we're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, we're formulating a lifestyle income plan. Based on what you want to do, you're going to have Social Security, maybe your wife's Social Security, maybe you have a pension, maybe you have real estate income.
Okay.
The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And a lot of times we're creating additional streams of income for that client. Maybe they're a tax-free income stream that they actually need to reduce their taxable income. Maybe it's a dividend-paying income stream that we're using for income. It just depends on the situation. But what we're doing is we are building different sections of income. When the markets get tumultuous and they drop down like they did in 2018, guess what I was able to do? I was able to turn off some of those accounts and let them rebuild in January, February, March, and I used income from the other accounts that didn't have any market exposure. It was actually pretty brilliant. So what happens is that the other accounts come back, when the market comes back, and we turn off the fixed income, and we go right back to these and keep building from that. Because what we said before was you always want to pull income from appreciated assets only.
Yes.
So when the markets start to drop, I don't want to pull income from there. But what I've done is I've also built other streams of income that are non-correlated to the stock market, and that client can thrive. This is where strategic lifestyle planning comes in, and I'm showing you at every single age, all the way up to 100, where your money's going to come from and why. And this is what people want. They want to know that they can pay for medical expenses. They want to know that it's factored in for inflation.
Yes.
They want to see where they are. Transparency.
Yes. Well, I got ahead of myself before we did the lifestyle portion. So let's talk about the wealth management side and the investment side now.
Right. So this is the part right now, Wendy, that people get most excited